All right, y'all. We back with another reaction right here on ABP Reactions. This one is called G Herbo exposes DJ Vlad for exploiting rappers for views. Ha, we've been hearing that for years, but let's get into it.
A lot of artists feel that coming up they could do Vlad TV, but once they get to a certain level, they don't have to mess with Vlad TV.
DJ Vlad is back at it again.
Back
this
at
time
it.
calling out G Herbo for basically not showing him love anymore. In a recent interview, Vlad starts talking about how rappers use his platform when they're coming up, but then after they blow up, they move on to other shows and podcasts, basically saying these artists and rappers, they use me for views. He even name dropped G.
Huh? Wait. They use you for views. Nah, it's kind of like a 50-50 thing. It's like, shit, you helping me, I'm helping you. Because I need the platform and you need the interview. I need the platform. You need the interview. It's a 50-50 thing on the come. I mean, you know, it's beneficial for both parties. But once I get to the point where it's like, all right, I don't have to do those no more. You can't be mad at me. It's like, nigga, we already done did it. I look at your platform as for people who try to get from point A to B or A to C, but I want to now do these platforms, these type of platforms moving forward. And you can't be mad at that, man. You can't be mad at that.
Herbo specifically in this interview saying that Herb skipped the Vlad interview to go sit on a random lame podcast that barely got 600 views. Now, this is nothing new. Vlad's been saying this type of stuff for years, that he gave rappers their first big look, that they owed him some kind of loyalty for helping them get on. But this time, people are pushing back hard, especially because G Herbo didn't stay quiet. He actually responded on Instagram and basically called Vlad out for using the culture, exploiting artists for views, and not giving anything back. And what makes this even more interesting is that G Herbo has been vocal about this for a while. He's done interviews where he said that guys like Vlad and Akademiks profit off of hip-hop culture but invest nothing back into it. He even challenged both of them back a couple of months ago to donate some of their earnings to Chicago nonprofits. So when Vlad took a little jab, Herb clearly had enough and decided that it was time to stand on business. So before we get into what Herbo said, let's listen to what Vlad said.
Okay.
Me and Polo G, we had a talk about that. We ran into each other at a bank in Calabasas, and we went outside and we talked because he had said some things about me negatively, and I'm like, why not just call me and tell me that if that's how you feel, because I gave you one of your first big looks. You know, but I also understand that when it comes to this game.
Is this entitlement? Do y'all consider this, you know what I mean? Well, I just want to know y'all take. Do y'all feel like how he's approaching these artists, how he feel like you at least owe me this. You owe me. You owe me. I keep hearing that. You owe me. You owe me. Is that entitlement, y'all? Or does he has a point? I gave you my platform, but again, my take is it's 50-50. You need the interview, I need the platform. But in his eyes, nigga, you needed me. That's it. You know what I'm saying? You needed me. That's it. And I gave it to you. So now you owe me. You're in debt with me for life. Is that the vibe is given? You're in debt with me for life. I helped you at your low. I helped you on your come up. You're in debt with me for life. When I need you, you owe me. But if that's not the terms we had when I did it on your platform, like, hey, I'm going to interview you, and when you blow up, you owe me, I understand that. If that was like the agreement we had, hey, I'm going to let you get on this platform. I usually charge people, but I'm going to let you get on this platform. I'm going to do 4 or 5 interviews with you. You blow up, you owe me. All right, deal. I get that. But if it's like a deal was never made, an agreement was never made, and now you just feel like you owe me, I would be like G Herbo, like, nigga, what? Fuck you, nigga, I owe you for it, nigga, like, what?
We're not like a major morning show on a major radio station that's owned by the biggest radio conglomerate in America, if not the world. So a lot of artists feel that coming up, they could do Vlad TV, but once they get to a certain level, they don't have to mess with Vlad TV anymore. Like, for example, like G Herbo, I was talking to his people about doing an interview, and ultimately he passed. But he did some podcast that got 678 views. Not 678,000, 678, less than 1,000 views He spent an hour on this podcast, but he wouldn't do Vlad TV. But Vlad TV was interviewing him over and over again on his come up. But once he gets to a certain level, well, he don't want to do Vlad TV anymore because Vlad TV's the feds now and whatever. I feel like that's lame, but that's life.
Does that bother you though? Do you feel, because it almost like you feel
from
like
a competition
it
level,
feels like
it
it's
does
almost
bother
like
me.
Yeah, that's entitlement. That's entitlement like a motherfucker. It's because you feel it's lame. It's not because you don't understand his side on why he's not doing it. If they saying, hey, man, I don't want to do that no more because at this point in life, that's going to put, the feds' eyes on me. I'll be in legal trouble here and there. And I know what you're going to do. You're going to ask me stuff. Even though you say you're not going to ask me that type of shit, you're going to try to get it up out of me. Hey, man, I don't feel safe. I mean, it ain't about feeling safe. It's just, hey, I don't think I need to be on that type of platform. I need to go somewhere where I know I could just answer cool little questions and not have to feel like somebody's trying to get me to admit something on camera. You know what I mean? Hey, maybe that's his take. Maybe that's his, and you can't be mad at that. Nigga, what we had, and we did it up. And I don't owe you nothing. Shit. You know what I'm saying?
Entitled, like you're entitled to come here.
No, he's not entitled to do anything. No one's entitled to I don't feel he's entitled, but I feel like humans are naturally what's the word I'm looking for? Like if you do something for someone, most humans will try to return that favor for you.
Reciprocate it, yeah.
Yeah. The reciprocal beings, right? I've learned over time that when people do something for me, I try to do something back. It may not be the exact same thing, but it's always in the back of my mind. So I feel like, I looked out for you when no one was checking for you. When you were just an up-and-coming artist. I did the Migos first interview. You haven't seen the Migos on Vlad TV in forever. Mm-hmm. I did a lot. Big Sean's one of his first interviews. You haven't seen Big Sean in forever.
Ooh, he's keeping score. He keeping score, y'all. He keeping that shit tallied down who didn't come back. And you know what those type of people do to those people who they feel like owe them and they're not coming back and helping them. They're going to try to destroy your ass. So he's letting you know, nigga, hey, I know who, I got to keep a tab of everybody who didn't come back. So, nigga, yeah, you either come fuck with me or, nigga, I'm going to drag you through the mud the moment I get a chance. If I get somebody to come on here and sit down that don't like you, I'm going to drag you. Like, hey, you got to watch these type of people.
They'll go and do other platforms. They'll do that white girl's podcast.
Bobby
Altaf, because she's kind of like quirky or whatever else. So it doesn't bother me. I don't feel entitled, but I feel like, damn, like we put together some dope work, and you go and pass on me to do some lame shit.
All right, so we just heard DJ Vlad in that clip saying that.
So he shit on. I saw the because somebody sent me the video. They were like, "Oh, he's talking about from." Like, no, he's a nigga. Because our shit with Herb got like 100-some thousand, 150, 100. With what could go wrong? He ain't talking about us. But they sent me the video of the shit he was talking about, and it had the day he did this interview, and he said it. It was the day the interview had came out, and at the time it had 700 views. So that's kind of petty too. Like you're sitting here talking about an up and coming a platform that had G Herbo, and this is the day of release, and you're gonna throw those numbers out there, knowing like give that shit a week, give it a month, give it time, like to get in the algorithm. So yeah, man, that was a petty move on Vlad. That was a petty move, but I get it, nigga. Shit, he like fuck it. That was low hanging fruit. It was easy for me to take that and take their numbers they had that day and throw it out there and make them look weak. So yeah, that was petty, but I feel it.
When rappers hit a certain level, they feel like they can stop doing business with Vlad TV. Essentially, he said that they use him when they're rising and then they move on. He uses G Herbo as an example, saying that he helped Herb early, giving him a platform, and now G Herbo should be basically obligated to sit back down with him. So let's kind of unpack it, right? What Vlad is essentially saying is, I gave you exposure, I helped you grow, so now you owe me loyalty, your return visits. You owe me interviews. And on the surface,
that's crazy, right?
It's not that bad of a statement. Yeah, he did give G Herbo some early visibility in his career, but the tone that Vlad used here is really the problem because it comes off as more of entitled than just him being generous. It's
exactly entitled. It comes off as entitled.
Basically, I helped you, so now you owe me. And that's where it gets sticky because the relationship between an interview / platform and an artist should be mutual, not a debt that is owed. Like, yeah, you help the artist, but the artist also brings the content, the story. Without the artist, you don't have platform leverage. And on top of that, what he's saying is a bit of a contradiction because Vlad is accusing rappers of using him once they're on the rise, but then they flip once they've made it. He's basically saying they're using him, but isn't Vlad doing the exact same thing to them when they're coming up to produce content? He is essentially saying, you used me, when in fact, the structure of the interview is mutually beneficial in that way. Sure, the artist is using you for the visibility of your platform, but you're also using them for the visibility of their story. It's mutually beneficial. He's using them in the same way that they're using him. He can't be mad that it's a mutual thing that they are doing right now. In that clip we watched, Vlad claims that G Herbo skipped a Vlad interview, choosing instead to do a podcast that he quantifies as only being able to do 600 views. And it appears that the podcast that Vlad is talking about here is this podcast, The Morning Hustle. Right?
Oh, shout out to bro. See, he went and did his research. This is what I like. I like these type of videos. My boy actually put a, you know what I mean, put an address on it. So now, because I was telling y'all I saw it, but I didn't have it. So he actually got it. So the show is called The Morning Hustle. It's a small channel. It's growing. Shout out to them. But look, it's at 34,000 subscribers. Bro, I hate when these niggas that be having like 7 million followers, 4 million followers, 5 million followers be trying to shit on the small channels like they post at the same numbers you got. Like, nigga, goddamn, you was once there too, nigga. You better stay humble, because that's how you fall off. We just learned that with the turkey leg hut people, nigga. You get too cocky and you fall off.
That interview currently sits at just over 1.5 thousand views, so it didn't perform great, but it's also not a giant platform. And Herbo recently went on there and talked about his album, his growth, fatherhood, a bunch of things, right? Vlad seems very annoyed that he decided to do that platform instead of his. He's basically like, I don't know why you would go give them an hour of your time to do 1,000 views when you...
That's hating. Hey, Vlad, that's hating, bro. Come on, man. You gonna shit on a smaller platform. Why would you do that? That's hating, bro. Come on. You supposed to be supporting. You the OG in this shit. You getting millions and millions and millions of views already. You at this point, that's just being stingy, man. Let these newer platforms shine too, man. Shit, especially if G Herbo want to go help them out. Shit, let them help them out. It's just like when you helped G Herbo, because you was the bigger at the time when you want to come up. Come on, man. God damn. You can't have all the energy. Let somebody else get some.
Come over here and do an hour with me and we might do 1 million views. Essentially, what he's trying to do is diminish that platform's contribution. He is trying to little bro that platform and act like he is better than them. Now, I looked into it and apparently this podcast, The Morning Hustle, is actually owned and operated by somebody that is close to Herb or somebody that was close to Herb's father. I'm not exactly sure, but there's a built-in relationship there. So it makes sense why he went on that smaller platform and contributed to their growth. But what I found when I was looking into this is that pretty much every other interview that Herbo did, like on Club Shay Shay, have been performing well. In fact, they've been performing better than Herbo's original interviews with DJ Vlad. Some of those are sitting at 200, 300,000, but his recent interviews where he just went on this recent run are doing 5, 6, 7, 800,000 views. So Vlad's narrative about G Herbo choosing a small podcast with low view counts is really misleading. It was just that one podcast that the interview didn't perform that great for. The rest of his interviews are performing phenomenally well. Probably.
He just exposed you as a hater, bro. He just exposed you as a hater, bro. So you took the low-hanging fruit of the one podcast that wasn't performing well, which just so happens to be friends of the family connected to him some type of way where they're connected, and him coming down to help his friends out going to a smaller platform and giving them motion. I'm gonna go, that's real nigga shit. I'm gonna go step down because the average motherfucker ain't finna come sit with y'all on my level. Y'all family though, I'm gonna come sit with y'all and I'm gonna help y'all. Boom. Player shit. But instead you take that moment, you don't highlight that. Instead you throw mud on that and say he went to go sit with a podcast that only does 700,000 views. Terrible. Damn, you look like a hater. I just exposed that, bro. That's fucked up.
The same or maybe even better than they would have done if he would have went back on Vlad TV. What's happened here is the leverage between Vlad and G Herbo has flipped, right? As Herbo has become more established, his interviews have started to pull in much bigger numbers than they did when he first did Vlad TV. That means that he has the ability to pick and choose where he wants to go now. When he was first starting, he didn't have that ability. He needed any and every look he could get. It seems to me like Vlad is really upset because he no longer has exclusive access to this interview, right? He wants Herbo to feel like Herbo owes him something and that he should be entitled to that exclusive interview because he gave him a look when he was first coming out. But Vlad didn't create Herbo's career. He already had music that was doing millions of views before his first DJ Vlad interview, right? So he didn't put Herbo on. In reality, Herbo don't owe him anything. The you owe me argument starts to feel weak when your platform is no longer necessary due to competition or because the artist has just outgrew your platform and can do numbers anywhere. Vlad's attitude comes off like, I did something for you, so you need to do something for me. But in media, just because you interview somebody doesn't mean that that person owes you anything. It's a collaboration when y'all do work together. If G Herbo feels like the platform is going to ask him questions he doesn't want to answer or would portray him in a way that he doesn't like, which Vlad has a reputation for digging into street activity and illegal topics, then G Herbo has the right to decline. The fact that Vlad is framing it as betrayal is really telling. But anyways, I've been rambling for a minute. With that laid out, let's look at what G Herbo actually said. So he's seen this clip posted over on Instagram, and the first thing he did was he tagged DJ Vlad, but then he posted this right here, which is a pretty lengthy paragraph, and he says, Vlad, you didn't do shit for me. Like nothing at all. You think the interviews that we did in the past is what blew me up? You gotta be shitting me. You called me every time, not the other way around. I obviously had some kind of emotion. I didn't even know who the you was when I first did an interview with you. I promise. I wasn't even in the loop back then. I just showed up wherever my team told me to, and I'll do another podcast and get 2 views if that's what I want to do. I do what I want to do. That's the exact reason why I'm not pulling up on your goofy ass, because you care about the view. That's why you do what you do and ask the shit that you do. I'm not uffing with it. I don't like what you represent and you got no principles. You don't give a f about me or nobody else that you interview. You will get somebody killed and sent to jail and then be right on to the next victim that you take advantage of for clicks and views. Off you, buddy.
Damn. Sheesh. Cooked them. Cooked them. Now, you can't even eat. After that response, nigga, it ain't even nothing to talk about. You shouldn't even be over here talking about, you know, nothing no more about G Herbo. He just blatantly told you right here, I'm not fucking with you, and here's why, nigga. So if I want to go over here and do this, let me do this, nigga. I mean, you don't gotta let me do shit because you don't control me. But nigga, don't worry about what the fuck I do. If I want to go sit down for 1 view, 2 views, nigga, that's what the fuck I want to do. Nigga, who the fuck is you to say what I shouldn't be doing and who should get a podcast, who should get an interview with me, who shouldn't? Fuck you, nigga. Fuck you, buddy. That's his exact words. And there you have it, man. There you have it.
Man, G Herbo making a statement right there. And honestly, he's not lying in his response. Vlad didn't make G Herbo. By the time those interviews dropped, Herb already had motion in Chicago. He was already buzzing off Welcome to Phaso Land, and he had the streets on lock. Vlad just benefited from tapping into that momentum early. And the way that G Herbo worded it by saying, you called me every time, not the other way around, that right there tells you everything that you need to know. It wasn't wasn't like G Herbo was hitting Vlad up, yo, bro, please interview me. Let me get an opportunity. Nah, according to him, Vlad is the one that was calling, like, please let me get an interview. Please let me get some views off of this right here. So it's crazy, really, for Vlad to turn around years later and act like he built Herb's career off of those interviews and those clips. He also brought up something that's kind of been a stain on Vlad's reputation for a long time, and that is the way that he uses the pain and the problems of the people he interviews. He said, you don't give a F about nobody you interview. You will get somebody killed or sent to jail and then move on to the next victim for clicks and views. And that's harsh, but if we're being honest, there is kind of truth in it. Over the years, how many Vlad clips have you seen that have gone viral because somebody said too much during their interview? Because he asked questions that he knew would lead to controversy or even incrimination. And his defense is always, well, they don't have to answer my questions. And that's technically true, but it's still manipulative when your whole brand relies on getting people to open up about street beefs and criminal activity. Vlad knows exactly what he's doing, and that's...
Yeah, see? Uh-huh. You trying to do like some psychology shit, some mind games. You trying to guilt trip niggas into feeling bad for not coming over there and give you the shit that you know they don't want to do. I don't want to, nigga, because I know what you're finna ask me. I know what you're looking for. I know what you feed off. Nigga, you're not coming over here to hear about the good I got going. Yeah, you're gonna ask me certain those just to get to the real reason you want to ask me stuff about this feud or this person that just got killed that they're saying was just dissing me on the internet and now he's dead. You want to ask me about shit like that. That's what you really want. Because you know that's going to go viral. My response, if I respond, yeah, you ain't fooling nobody, man. Niggas is hip. Niggas is hip. We hip to what, you know, what the plays that, what they call the table, that the table was running. It's time to get the table the fuck up out of here. No, it's space on here for everybody, man. Like, you know, it's people who want to go engage in that type of shit. It is artists who still will engage and will, go do it. But everybody you don't got to feel entitled, or like, you're too entitled if you think every rapper has to do it or should do it. Everybody don't stand for that. Everybody don't stand for that, man, you know, but it is going to be a lot of rappers that come that be like, fuck it, I want to go do DJ Vlad. I want to go do over here, Akademiks. I want to go do No Jumper. I want to go do here. Even though people are seeing a track record of things that happened in the past, they don't care. Shit, they like it's a platform. And I'm using your platform and you using me to get these stories, to get these views. That's could probably send me to jail, but I don't give a fuck. And a lot of artists like that.
That's why artists like G Herbo don't trust him anymore. Over the last really year or so, we've seen G Herbo try to make a transition out of the streets. We've seen him try to grow. He's been on these interviews talking about fatherhood, mental health, giving back. He's not really trying to sit in a chair and talk about old street stories for Vlad's monetization. Vlad acts like he's being overlooked, but really the artists that he's interviewing are just growing. They're evolving. They are becoming bigger than his platform, and they would rather tell their story on their own terms than feed into somebody else's YouTube algorithm. Herbo is at the point now where he can pick and choose where he wants to go. He don't have to come do Vlad TV. He can go do any interview that he wants and he's still gonna be all right. You guys see what I'm saying? But anyways, this whole thing actually started months and months ago, if you really know. It didn't just start with this Vlad TV interview clip. This is something that's been brewing because G Herbo actually did an interview months ago with the comedian Adam Friedland, right? And in that interview, he actually called out not only DJ Vlad, but also DJ Akademiks. And he said he feels like they exploit the culture and the people that are from the hood. And they do that in order to monetize. And he said in that.
Do y'all think that's true? Chat. Do y'all think that's true? Do they exploit the culture for monetization? Let me know in the comments section right now.
The interview, I feel like they should be giving back to the communities that made them rich, right? And this is really where the tension actually started. I'll play y'all that clip right now.
What do you make of
guys are serious.
of like the content creators that have made careers basically off of you guys, like Akademiks or Vlad, or like people that are like people that cover you guys and have like made money off of it?
See, if I was If I was the type of nigga that really, I don't give a fuck about that shit. But if I did, I'd probably be like, yeah, you know, cut me in or do something. Like, I feel like all those kind of guys, what they should do is give to a non-profit organization in Chicago that I'm gonna challenge them to do that. Like,
what's
Akademiks, Vlad, all you niggas that done made money off of culture and people dying and bloodshed and shit like that, go donate $20,000 or $50,000 to a non-profit organization that focus on just the betterment of kids. That's my opinion, personally.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. If you done made money off exploiting the bloodshed of Chicago and bringing these motherfuckers on here to further push the agenda of the gang violence in Chicago, to help platform it and let this person who wasn't as vocal, as loud, now you put him on this platform where he could say, fuck you, rest in peace, I'm smoking your homie pack, this, that. Now he had a platform where he could say it, only for him to have to go back to that community and get murdered and slain over those words that he said on your platform. But yet, once he dies, the video everybody go watch, and now you got 3-4 million views off that interview. Should he have to say, hey man, it's only right I done made, especially with multiple instances like that. People who I interviewed and now they're dead, over probably coming on my platform and saying stuff and giving them a platform to say this stuff. I done made thousands, hundreds of thousands off this shit. I could at least go back and give $20,000 to a Chicago nonprofit that's gonna help the youth. Yeah, I'm not mad at that. It makes sense. It makes sense. And I know Vlad probably, I mean, you don't got a nigga can't tell you what to do with your money. I get that. Can't nobody tell you what to do with your money. It's your money, and how you choose to spend is on you. But does that make sense that he's saying, hey man, you exploited the culture, you can at least give back and help the future of this city that you exploited? Yeah, I'm not mad at that.
Right, so that's really initially what started this back and forth between DJ Vlad, Akademiks, and G Herbo. And I know some people are gonna say, you know, it's rich for G Herbo to say that DJ Vlad and Akademiks should get back to Chicago. Wasn't he just indicted for actually committing fraud, stealing from innocent people? And the answer is yes, but when you're from the streets, when you're from that life, sometimes it's hard to let go. What I do know is that G Herbo has tried to do good in his community, right? Back in 2020, he launched what he called Swerving Through Stress, which was a program that was started to provide free therapy sessions for youth in Chicago. He literally partnered with mental health professionals to give young people free access to therapy sessions because he said growing up in that environment, trauma was normalized and nobody was talking about how to heal it, right? I think that that's a good look. That's a good move. It's something that is needed, but Herbo has also donated to local schools. He's worked with other nonprofits, and he's done things like community givebacks, toy drives, and create these safe spaces like the therapy sessions for kids from the neighborhood to go to try to change the way that they are living their life. That's why his message really hits hard for me, because he's not just criticizing Vlad for clout. He's saying, if you're going to keep profiting off of our pain, at least put some of that money back into the community. That's basically what Herbo is saying. And that's what kind of makes this conversation so layered, because really, truthfully, nobody's hands is clean in any of this. But Vlad's whole thing is that, oh, I help these artists out by giving them exposure on my platform when they're not really massive. But G Herbo isn't talking about helping people in that way by giving them an opportunity. He's talking about two very different kinds of help. One help builds headlines. The other help builds actual change. And back when all of this went down, DJ Vlad and Akademiks actually sit down on Akademiks Off the Record podcast, and they did discuss this topic.
In other news, G Herbo wants you to sell the Richard Millie and donate some money to Chicago, because according to him, our platforms, and we built our platforms off of Chicago. I think most of that maybe was aimed at me, but it was kind of, they lumped us both together saying we should both just donate money, which, by the way, I have donated money to organizations from Chicago before. But this is like a new iteration of call to action saying, basically, we need to give back to Chicago because we profited off of them. Thoughts?
Well, I kind of think it was really more the bozo who was doing the interview. Right? What's his name?
I don't know his name.
Friedman or some motherfucker.
Damn, that nigga Vlad don't fuck with nobody. He called the nigga a bozo. Oh, they might have some outstanding like beef, who knows? But damn, Vlad don't fuck with nobody, huh?
Okay, it's like one of these like
he wanted a
clickbait Jewish kid that probably got beat up, you know, and finally has a little bit of a voice and is trying to be tough because he actually called you a bitch on Twitter and stuff like that.
Well, of course he
called you a bitch in the interview too.
Well,
he messy. He messy. Hold on, nigga. Don't try to make this just about me. That nigga Vlad, he did a ping pong move right there. Don't just try to make this about me and get my response about him. No, we gonna give a response together. He called you a bitch. He called you that in the interview. So let's both respond to that nigga.
Trying to engage with me. I wouldn't. We already got the dossier on him. We got him doing blackface, all type of stuff. I just don't want to. Yeah, we just don't want to engage.
What?
I got the pictures.
Blackface?
Come on.
Yo, show me the picture. Show me. I want to see this.
Vlad, let me tell you.
That guy. Because you know something? I said, hey, man, I heard you want to debate. Hit me up. I said, on your platform or mine? Let's go.
Vlad.
He didn't even respond. Show me the blackface.
Oh, they knew what they was doing. They knew what they was doing right here.
This is him.
Okay.
And scroll over.
No.
Come on now.
They knew what they was doing.
Yo, listen, we keep the files.
Look at this. Look at this.
We keep the files on them.
Look at this.
You know? So like,
but you're a racist. You.
So really, I could have I could have dropped that at any time. But again,
we just dropped it, right?
Well, here's the thing.
No fuzz it out.
No, hell no.
Don't fuzz it out. We want to see this.
Yo,
Herb, why are you even interviewing with this dude? This dude is a racist.
He's desperate to try to get a back and forth to be relevant. Right. And he was probably looking for salacious talking points, and that's probably one that Herb bit on, because maybe the other things he wanted Herb to, like, to be honest, I've sat with Herb. I sat with Herb. I sat with Herb. We turned this big TV on. Yeah. And because he had said some tweets before about Chicago and me, and we went through them. I said, no, we're going to go off what you said. We're going to actually factually speak about this. And at the end of the interview, he pretty much backed down from everything he was saying. So like here, years later, I was like, you got baited into the conversation. Yeah. And I understand. Yeah. But also, like, you know, I don't know how you feel, but I'm not in the apologetic mode anymore.
Yeah, I did not build my career off Chicago. I mean, look, me and Herb's people are talking right now.
Oh, you got to get him on there.
Yeah, so we're talking about doing an interview.
These niggas be so locked in. Listen, man, fuck all that. They deflected from what the fuck he said. All he said is nigga donate some bread. And Akademiks, he said, I donated before. But he didn't say how much. He doesn't need to say, but in a situation like this, it would be nice for people to hear. They do want to hear that. That's just people who, like, that's fans of this shit. They want to hear how much did you donate? How much you donate? Because he gave a number. G Herbo said, y'all can at least donate 20 to 50. And then they could come back and be like, hey, I did donate already. It could have been $100. You know what I mean? But not saying you have to donate anything. Again, it's your money. Nobody can tell you how to spend your money. But I think that's the thing. G Herbo was like, hey, you know, all right, cool. 20,000. I donated already. Now that's going to make a nigga, like G Herbo, if he had time, he could go research that and find out and expose you if it was like some bullshit. Because he could be like, nigga, I said 20,000. You only donated $175. I'm just saying put this much more on it. And, you know, since you profited off our shit. And, you know. But, hey, man, to each his own. Can't nobody tell you what to spend. Can't nobody tell you what to do with your money. Hey, and if you choose to go over there on this man's platform and let him know about what's going on in your city, then you can't blame him. It kind of, you got to play that responsibility too. You got to put that on your back. You the one that went over there. I would have never known what was going on if you didn't come over here and give me the details. So you got to, you know, it's 50-50, man. It's 50-50.
And we were actually supposed to talk today, but he was like on flights and so forth. So we're talking about actually, you know, but we're in active talks to actually do something. Because look, the thing that everyone expects from us is like, well, what about what you do? Or what about?
Oh, no, I definitely did that.
Yeah, you did that.
I definitely said you can't rob innocent grandmas, y'all stole their credit cards, ran up a $1.5 million tab, went on vacation, bought designer puppies, $40,000 puppies. You and your whole crew, y'all got indicted by the DOJ. Y'all got indicted for fraud and scamming innocent people. You paid back, or you were ordered to pay back $140,000. Well, if we're talking about giving back, you're talking about giving back because you feel we should be charitable. Good. I think everybody in hip hop should be charitable. Yeah. You should give back what you stole. I'm sorry. That's not even charitable. That's just actually giving back what you have taken illegally. So, obviously, I don't think it's like that with her, but I'm glad you guys got to do something.
I mean, look, like the obvious thing is to say, well, what about your lyrics?
These niggas are two of the same. This shit is funny. They two of the same. They ping-ponging right now.
What about you calling, you saying GDK, which is Gangster Disciple Killer? Like, that's the obvious thing, but really, I feel like
they ping-ponging.
Herb really got baited into that conversation. True. It's not like he just came on board and said, yo, let me tell you about Vlad and Ak, then blah, blah, blah. No, it's like he got baited into it. The guy's like, oh, because he's a bitch. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, you could tell, like, Herb was sort of going along with the energy of the dude with the black face. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And, but I think for me, when I heard it, and because I know people that know him, and, like, I've interviewed him when he was Lil Herb. Multiple interviews. You can look at my YouTube channel. It's all there.
You've interviewed Bibby, too.
Bibby's my man. We're talking about doing another one. We keep in contact. Yeah. Like, I help Bibby make millions of dollars by showing him how the stock thing works. And he
I hate people that gotta just do that all fucking day. Why you gotta keep throwing what the fuck you did for me, nigga? Stop fucking throwing that out there, nigga, because you got that you owe me mentality, man. I did this, I did that, I did this, I did that, I did that. What did he do for you, man? Niggas love to sit and highlight everything they did for people. I. Jesus Christ.
He went on and did great with it. Like, so me and Bibby, Bibby's done my platform multiple times. Like, I rock with all these dudes. So I think, like, yo, instead of saying you have to do something, I have to do something, why don't we just do something together?
Yeah, that'd be fine.
Why don't all of us, because none of us totally have our hands clean in this. All of us have done certain things that ultimately, have had negative influences, negative repercussions that we can help out.
I love what you just said, but I hate it when rappers never take responsibility. They'll use this, oh, well, it was my life. And I'm like.
Now, that's where I got to agree. This is where I got to agree. And I just said that. Like, it's a 50-50 thing. You're coming on there. Yeah, I can talk about your city from an outsider's standpoint looking in. But now, if you're actually from that city and you come sit on my platform and give me the actual details, the inner workings of what's going on in that city, and is that me exploiting it? Or is that you coming over there and exploiting your city to me, to my platform, to my viewers? Now that's where that could be argued. Hey, listen, if your city is the murder capital at the time, and I'm talking about all the murders, that's low-hanging fruit content, right? Because the news is talking about it every day. It's viral. It's on every channel. It's on. So let me go do content based on that and what I could find on these stories. But now, if I could get the actual players involved, that's on y'all to be like, nah, nigga, hell no, we ain't letting, unless you paying us, because everybody got a price. That's another thing that needs to be taught. A lot of these niggas, they'll let you exploit their cities for the right price. So, I mean, it's a 50-50 thing. That's my stance. It's 50-50, y'all. I know that they'll give it like it's all one person's fault. Now, if they're doing all that without actual people from the city going on their platforms, yeah, now you're exploiting it. Now you're stirring up drama because you don't even know nobody here. Nigga, you ain't even from here. You don't know nobody from here. You making all this content. You ain't never seen it. You ain't never did blah, 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 blah. Yeah, which was in the beginning of Akademiks. That's what they were saying. Like, nigga, you ain't from here. You starting all this shit. You making all these stories about the drill shit. You ain't even, nigga, you got motherfuckers. Yeah, that's what exploiting is for sure. But when it gets to the point of the artists or the street niggas now being thirsty, you're not supposed to go over there and give in. Now you thirsty. You done came over here and now you're giving him the actual details. Hey, what was my boy? We went to school together. He grew up over here. He would have never knew that if you wouldn't have went on no platforms and said it. You know what I mean? So it's 50-50.
Listen, if you've made a lyric about promoting violence,
at the end of the day, all of us have done things that have unintentionally had negative effects.
Yeah.
Right? Whether it's reporting on a certain story or whether it's doing a certain lyric and saying certain things. So at the end of the day, none of us could say, look, you know, I did nothing. I'm totally clean. You know, look, like the whole BTB Savage thing, I still feel bad about my role in that. I interviewed him. He told me about a home invasion and so forth. I didn't think he was going to do a picture next to a pool of blood, showing off his jewelry. But ultimately, that ended in the worst possible way. Like, those guys kept, whoever he had beef with and whoever the friends of the dude that he killed in self-defense obviously kept getting madder and madder and madder and madder until they took it out in terms of his murder. Like, so instead of us just pointing the fingers at each other and say, it's your fault, it's your fault, it's your fault, why don't we actually come together and do something cool?
Now, one thing that I do gotta say I respect is that DJ Vlad in that interview did say he was willing to give back. He didn't say, oh, I'm not gonna give back to nobody. This is my money. This is my platform, my influence I'm using, and I'm gonna do with it what I want. He did say, hey, look, if we could all come together, I'd be more than willing to help out in these communities. All right, so you gotta give respect where it's due. But really, at the end of the day, this argument between G Herbo and DJ Vlad all comes down to perspective. Vlad still sees himself as the guy who gave artists their first shot, the one that's doing them a favor by putting a camera in their face. But since Vlad first started doing his interviews, times have changed. Rappers don't really need Vlad TV anymore. There are dozens, if not hundreds, of platforms doing the exact same thing that he's doing. The rappers are the content. They've got.
Yeah, this ain't the times. Back in the day, people needed Vlad to a certain extent. People needed it, but now niggas done learned the game. Niggas done learned the game. These young niggas done learned the game. There's so many platforms now where we could go on here and go viral without asking these types of questions. And nigga, I would rather do that with people who I know or I love or that's from my culture, that's from my community. Like, that's how artists be looking at shit now. Like, shit, why the fuck I'm gonna go sit with you and say this when I can go sit with him? You know what I mean? This show is more popping. FMW, All Facts podcast, or this, whatever. I would rather go do something that's of the culture that I love, that I watch, and let them get that moment. You know what I'm saying? And you can't be mad at that. It's a plethora of options out there now for artists who want to go sit down with somebody, and they can go choose to go sit down with.
Their own audiences, sometimes their own platforms and their own narratives. They can pick and choose who they want to do business with now. And the truth about this is really Vlad's frustration isn't really about loyalty. It's about control. He's upset that the artists that he used to dictate the story for are now in a position to go and tell that story themselves without needing him, without needing his platform. And that's why he sounds bitter when he mentions G Herbo, because Herb doesn't fit the system anymore. He's not feeding Vlad's algorithm. He's feeding himself, his family, his community. And meanwhile, Vlad and Akademiks are still sitting on podcasts debating why artists don't want to talk to him anymore, when the answer is really simple. People are tired of being dissected for clicks. They're tired of being turned into cautionary tales instead of being celebrated for their growth. So yeah, G Herbo might have moved on from Vlad, but maybe that's exactly what growth looks like. You start on the platforms that'll take you, but once you understand your value, you go where your message is respected.
There it is. And that's what it boiled down to. It's that simple. Nigga, I outgrew your platform. I know what your platform do. I know what is the bread and butter of your platform. I am no longer going to allow you to capitalize and utilize that off of me. I'm not in that space no more. I was blind to it. Even though I knew it, I was blind to it before, but now I see. And that's just what it is.
I exploited. But that's my thoughts on it. That's my view on it. That's my perspective. Y'all got to let me know how y'all feel about it in the comments down below. Is Vlad just being honest about reciprocity, or is he really out here guilt tripping rappers for not feeding into his machine anymore? Because from where I'm sitting, it looks like G Herbo made the right call. But y'all let me know in the comments down below.
Yeah. All right. Did G Herbo make the right call? Let me know. Let us know in the comments section. What is your thoughts on this? At this point in G Herbo's career, does he have to go sit down on a platform like Vlad TV? Should he go sit down on a platform like Vlad TV? Or, it seems like he's woke. He gets it. He knows the power. Maybe it's something that he didn't like that he didn't have no control of, and it's probably he looks back. It's a cringe moment for him, like when I went on your platform and I said this because I was dumb, I was young. But now, I feel like you should have told me, like, hey, bro, that was wrong. You shouldn't be doing this. Instead, you made it into clips and you made me go viral, and it could have caused something in the streets back then. I can't really talk about it on the internet. It's something a little deeper probably with G Herbo, you know what I mean? And now he's like, shit, I'm not going back over there because last time I went over there, this is what happened. I just can't talk about it publicly. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, you caused this to happen in the streets, nigga, and I had to do this and blah, blah, blah. I can't talk about that publicly, though, so I'm just not going to go on your platform no more. And it's that simple, bro. Don't fault me for it. You know what I'm saying? It could still be all love, but instead you want to act like a diva and you want to say that, nigga, you want to downplay anything else I do that ain't yours. That's not cool. That's hater shit right there. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section, man. Who was wrong in the situation? Who was right? Vlad or G Herbo? Let me know in the comment section. And I'll give you 2 seconds to smash the like. And as always, get ready for the next reaction.